So, it seems to me that I spend a bit too much time just watching YouTube videos about sailing rather than going sailing myself and filming sailing for YouTube. Yeah. Imagine my joy when Andrew asked me if I could join him in bringing his boat back from the Isles of Scilly to Falmouth. Well, of course, I said yes. Well, the weather's looking awesome. We're at the Salonian and this is Andy.
Here we go.
What are we going to do then?
We're going to go over to St Mawes on the Isles of Scilly. We're going to pick up our boat, hopefully it's still there, bobbing around, have to go on the mooring. And then we're going to sail it back to St Mawes, which is 60 miles.
I've never been on the Salonian before, so let's go on that adventure as well, shall we?
So what happens is all of your kit, all of your big baggage goes into a shipping container, and then they get put onto the Salonian, craned off onto St Mary's Quay on the other side, and then await your collection. So you don't have to carry them around with you on the boat all morning.
Well, on the Salonian, it's very much like a ferry, really. Coffee shop down there, so I think we'll make use of that.
As well as a cafe area down below, there are plenty of seats up on deck where you can take in the beautiful, if not a little misty, views of St Michael's, Mousel, the Minack Theatre and Land's End. But since we weren't being bathed in sun, we went down for some breakfast.
How are you enjoying your breakfast, Richard? Gone for the only gluten-free option that we've got on the Salonian. You could buy your pre-made bacon butty if you really wanted to. It's grand. Here's a tip for anybody going on the Salonian. Find your comfy seat first, and then leave your mate sat in your comfy seat while you go and get your breakfast, because we've ended up in the uncomfies. There you go.
That's a top tip for you.
Top tip.
For free, you heard it here first. And what did you think of the bacon, the menu combos for the bacon butty?
Oh yeah, so you can have bacon may contain nuts. So I don't know yet whether bacon and Brazil nuts is a thing, but it could well be.
You heard it here first. Menu innovations on Salonian 3.
There really wasn't a lot to do on the boat for the 2.5 hours of the journey, so I highly recommend taking some games when the weather is grim. But as we approached St Mary's, there were some nice islands to see, if only the sun would shine through too. And then, once ashore, it was time to try and find our bags. Hopefully, all of them.
That's one. Somewhere we've got some camera equipment as well. Got to be in there, I think.
It'll be in that one.
That's not all my camera equipment.
It could be an interesting dinghy journey over to the boat.
It would be, wouldn't it?
For those of you who are not based in the UK, the Isles of Scilly are in the southwest of England. We took the ferry from Penzance over to Hewtown in St Mary's. Now we still had to get to Strider, who was waiting in this mooring field, but we also needed to get some provisions from the only food shop on the island. But since the island is small, you really have to be quick to get any fresh produce. We were clearly too late. We did manage to get some eggs, and I believe there was some bacon on board. So off to the dinghy we went.
There she is, bobbing on the water quite happily. She's floating, still there.
Well, welcome to Bavaria 36 Strider. Oh, I feel like I'm on that, what's it called, boatshed.com, isn't it? We're here for an internal walk around of any questions, check out here, more videos at. So, look, we've got all the knots that you could ever need to know. Useful. Lovely V-berth. Very roomy, very light, spacious. Plenty of room there. And some storage. Heads are in there. Companionway. Galley. Table.
Right. Andy, out of his comfort zone here.
How about scrambled eggs in with the bacon? Just cook the bacon and then throw the eggs in on top and just make a bacon egg mess. Broken eggs.
A tip for anybody
embarking on a passage, provisioning the boat before they get on the boat, Andy's top tip is don't put half a dozen eggs in your squishable bag and then squish your bag and
So did we?
toss it nonchalantly into the dinghy, because this is the kind of thing that's gonna happen.
Did we only lose one egg?
We only lost one egg.
Well, it's only half an egg. I reckon we could probably still eat that yolk.
Yeah, it'll be pre-scrambled, won't it?
Yeah.
Happy days.
Sorted.
There you go. No, thank you now.
Because we knew we'd be leaving the island the next day, and because I'd never been to the Scillies before, we decided it was a good idea to go for an explorational walk.
So Richard and I are just going to embark on the Garrison Walk, which is a nice little half-an-hour stroll around, surprisingly, the Garrison, which is at one end of the St Mary's. Beautiful views down over the harbour in that direction. Up through the arch and around the ancient Garrison walls we go.
Ooh. Detention cell.
How appropriate.
Just around the corner from the detention cell, there was a victualling store of some sort. Here we found a rather nice topological model of the Garrison Walk, with lots more information about the area. We learned how it was defended from the early 1600s through to World War II, information about the Royalist stronghold, and the rebuilding of the garrison after different battles, and we also had some fun.
Hey Andy, fancy a barrel of rum to take to the boat? No one out there. Let's have a barrel of rum.
Back to the detention centre for Andy, I think.
That's Samson, the island with the two hillocks on it. That's one island that's uninhabited. And then on the right, immediately, that's Briar.
Oh, that's Briar there, okay.
Briar. And then to the right with all the trees is St Mary's. Tresco, sorry. Tresco. And then coming around a bit more in the mist over there are the Eastern Isles. And then St Martin's horizon over there.
Can't pack much wool in there, but you can pack a few cannons in.
That's a punch.
Packs a punch. So I reckon it's time for a cup of tea. We might even have a bit of a swim in the sea. What do you reckon?
I'm not sure that's massively likely, Richard, if I'm honest.
Okay. The weather thankfully has cleared up a bit. It's still looking a little bit misty out there. And on this mooring field that we're on, there's quite a good number of boats. But remarkably cheap. Apparently it's only £24 a night to pop your 36-foot boat on here. Alrighty.
We're on.
We're on. Cameras up there.
Okay.
Being filmed. Being filmed down here.
Right. Come and sit. Come and sit here.
Right, Skipper.
Right.
We're going to do some planning of the passage.
We're going to do some passage planning. Okay. Now, St Mary's on the Isles of Scilly, which is here. And we're going to go around Lizard Point, which is here. And then we're going to go up into Falmouth Bay, which is here. Helpfully, it says Falmouth Bay just off the chart. Is St Mawes, tucked in there, which is where we're going to go.
Right.
So I know because I've already measured it. By taking 5 nautical miles from here. Do it again, purpose of the camera. We're going to go 5, 10,
Nice little angle there, look at that.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35,
40.
40. We're going to just average that one out. 45, 50, 55, 60.
60. Brilliant.
To the table. That well-known navigational point. So 60 nautical miles. If we average 5 knots, that's 12 hours. So now what we need to do, I think, is just have a look at where we're going to be tidally bashed, if we're going to be tidally bashed anywhere.
When is high tide?
Let's have a look at the tides now. And have a look.
And I'm just... Basically, we're going to do some maths and get back to you right after this. Alright, we've done our maths.
Righto.
The passage plan is
Yeah, after our hideously complicated maths, we have decided that the optimum time to hit the lizard is 6 p.m. What we do is we said that's 6 p.m, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, noon, 11 a.m, 10 a.m, and then this, by the time we've gone through St Mary's Sound and wriggled about, is going to be 9 a.m. So we've decided to aim to slip our lines at 8:30 from here and be on our merry way. It gives us half an hour to fiddle about with the lines and get out St Mary's Harbour and around the Sound. And then, all being well, with a fair wind and a following tide, as they say, we'll get here at about 6 p.m, which will mean that we've got a bit of current against us, so a tide against us, so we're going to have about 0.7 of a knot of tide against us as we go
Around the corner.
head around the corner of the lizard.
And then we realised as well, due to the windy directions and strengths, we're going to get a good 2.5 hours maybe sailing.
Yep.
And then 3.5 hours maybe motor sailing.
Yep.
And then we pick the wind back up again, and it should be a nice a nice reach, shouldn't it?
So if the wind does what it says it's going to do, then we're going to get the wind coming from here, the boat going along here, and then as we come around the corner, almost by magic, the wind changes direction again, and it's still more or less at the same angle to the boat. So a nice broad reach
All the way around.
all the way around the corner and back into home.
Yep. Bosh. Passage planned.
Let's see what happens, shall we?
Well, good morning everybody. Here we are on a very different anchorage to the one that mooring area that we went to sleep on last night. The wind has disappeared, the fog has disappeared, the fishermen are already on their way out now, just 7:30. So we have to, what dogs? Got any dogs on board today? No dogs on board.
No dogs to take to do their required jobs.
What else is standard? Oh, shopping. We have to do did the shopping yesterday in the empty co-op.
We're literally the two most organised people in the world, aren't we?
Yeah. But before we continue, let me just take 1 minute to tell you all about no-name porridge. I've been eating no-name porridge for about 3 weeks now, and I found it makes me feel super duper.
Me too. I love no-name porridge, especially the golden syrup version.
You can get your no-name porridge by going to this link.
Salivating already.
Perfect.
There we are. Right, this saucepan will never be the same again.
Oh my word.
Managed to...
I've heard actually it's really good for if you're struggling to get seals around your windows on your boat.
Simply rub it around the window seals of the Bavaria.
That's right, yeah.
And it's perfect for the job.
So just on a few final bits and bobs. These are some weather reports. As you can see, the wind is doing this. Later it gets onto this. And we'll have a little bit of this. So the wind is going to change as we anticipated, at about the times we anticipated. The weather itself, no sunshine for us, it's looking a bit like this and this. So we just get a little bit of perhaps a glimpse of the sun. So it's going to be full oilies for me, I think, today, just to keep warm and toasty. But we're pretty much ready, so let's untie the lines.
Free. Which side's the boy on? The boy's straight in front of us, directly in front. 2 metres. There we go. So, just to clarify, sorry, warning that I'm going to film you. As we leave, that's Hewtown Beach there.
Yeah.
What we thought we'd do is, rather than head towards that beautiful blue sky over that direction, we want to go to that dark sky over there. Is that right?
Of course we do. Where else would you want to go on a boat in September?
Oh my word.
Sky you can see. Head straight for it.
Straight towards it.
But
Nice.
We're ploughing towards it at a mighty 5.3 knots.
Still under engine.
Still under.
With a bit of sail. I can actually feel the wind on the back of my head now.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of that might be apparent, but we won't worry about it.
Apparently.
I'm saying, I think we'll bear away by 10 degrees in a minute for 2 reasons. Firstly, the tide's pushing us a little bit up on where we want to be. And secondly, we're going to be less, if we bear away by 10 degrees, we'll just clip the end, the eastern end of the tidal separation scheme, the TSS, at Land's End. Whereas if we stay on course, we'll be more substantially in it, which doesn't bother me massively, but if we bear away, we'll
Right, so what?
account for that tidal.
Add 10?
So if we add 10,
10 is added.
10 is added.
That's like some rock and roll
That's hard,
sailing right there.
hardcore, that is.
Is that my cup of tea?
See the way that Richard pressed that button?
I pressed that button like
he's
a
pressed
pro.
the button a million times before. Literally, a button pressure extraordinary.
Well, this has been us for the last hour and a half now, really. It's not quite enough wind. We just go under sail only, we're just doing about 3 knots, 3.5. So we've got 1800 RPM going. Motoring along at just short of 6 knots, which is lovely. And, oh, dolphins. Come on. So much fun. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. and family of dolphins. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, I think. Oh my word, there's like hundreds of them. What do you reckon to that, Andy?
Oh, I think that's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So lovely to see them. Can't help but make you happy.
I know. Dolphins just make you happy.
Make you happy. A little check now, just to check where we are.
That was an hour ago there, wasn't it?
And that was an hour ago there at 13:54, so it's 1400. And as you can see, we're pretty close to our planned route, which is nice to know. We should be after an hour, somewhere around about here. So we'll just put a little circle around
Oh,
there.
less half an hour.
Less half an hour.
tidage.
Round about here. So that's
I love that symbol for estimated position.
There it is, lovely, isn't it?
Roughly.
It's a lovely little shell shape.
Yeah.
You could argue it's a bit rough and ready, but it's always worked for me. We've got the coordinates shown on the radio.
49 degrees at 55, 5 degrees 34.
So we'll run a line up here on the grid line. And then the northings were 49.55. Okay. And where
Well,
they
look at
cross
that,
is where
right.
they are, look.
Right in between your two guesses.
Right in between the two guessers. It's an absolutely outrageous thing to say.
Do. And now the news at just after 6 p.m.
Good evening. This is the news just after 6 p.m. This is Andy Heason speaking from Strider. In today's news, 2 average blokes have sailed an average boat an average distance of 45 miles from St Mawes on the Isles of Scilly, aiming to get to the Lizard Point at exactly 6 p.m, which they kind of missed a little bit. But the time now,
Just around the corner.
just tantalisingly around the corner he is.
Can we see it? Oh, there he is.
There it is. So in an epic day of arduous adventures, Richard and Andy managed to sail Andy's first port to Bavaria, St Mawes on the Isle of Scilly, to the Lizard Point, just missing their estimated time of arrival. But nevertheless, they got here in daylight and they're doing remarkably well. They've encountered all kinds of problems. They had to rig a boom preventer over there.
Because that's just rubbish with the wind. Doing an amazing 3.1 true speed, or 2.4, 2.0, no wind, and we're getting 4 knots. Whilst we're doing 2,000 RPM.
Ah, yeah, we weren't going to tell them about the end, but never mind.
All right.
Anyway, there we are. So Richard and Andy have almost got to where they said they were going to be, almost at the time they said they were going to be there. This is Andy Houston from Strider, nearly at the Lizard Point.
For more great updates, subscribe, tick the bell. What else do you need to do? And thumbs up, like, that's it, and tell your mates. So it's just coming up to lighting up time. Just past the Lizard, that's Blackhead, and just ahead of us we can see 3, 1, 2, 3 vessels. Not very well lit up, but they're all at anchor, and they're right in our way. But we think the autopilot is going to take us in between this landhead there and first vessel. Also, I just got a fantastic smell. Let's go and investigate. Still the news at 6:30. The fantastic smell is coming from
Coming from the galley.
Oh my word!
Chicken curry, homemade chicken curry.
Homemade chicken curry
With coriander rice.
with coriander rice in the bowls that we've used 3 times today already for all our snackage. What more do you need? Jolly big boat, which doesn't look big at all, and the wide angle lens. So we've kind of taken a bit of a decision to avoid it rather than hit it, which I thought was quite a promising idea. But look, now we're going to hit the land.
Oh no, I hate it.
Oh, so let's go find our waypoint. We're not gonna. There he is, Mr. Waypoint. Manacle Bay. Go-to waypoint. Engage track autopilot. Engage pilot track mode. Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Warning. 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 Yes. Do it. Are you sure? Yes.
What's the warning?
Yes. Yes. Engage track mode. It's on it now, look, see? It's on track. Monocle buoy. There we go. Vessel has been not hit. Has the insanity set in? I think it has. I think it has actually. I'm gone a bit. Well, you know, we've only been doing it 11 hours. It's not like, you know.
It's not like nearly half a day.
No, and it's not been hard, really, has it? Piece of cake. And here we have the tidying up table. The chart is no longer needed because we are on the mooring. Yes. This gentleman here got us all the way up. Absolutely. 8 minutes, just 8 minutes after our ETA that we decided on yesterday. So
I'm available for.
There you go. Oh yeah, available.
I'm available for help, for chartering, you know, captaincy, skippering. Anybody needs anything, then you heard it here first. Richard and I are your men.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we men. Okay, so until next time, what do they need to do? Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and well, just generally,
thumbs up.
Safe sailing, everyone.
Enjoy.